Just know you've got me. You know you've got— what? So just know you've got me, you can be yourself around. Are you even listening to me?
Love can take many forms.
You too.
I'll be happy to help if you change your mind about Mel. You two
I
have
love
to
them.
be together.
I love all three of them. I can't take this anymore.
I do feel bad for you, but you did kind of bring this on yourself, Mr. I'm not interested in women. Now that Michelle's answered, it's your turn. Ooh, what? Do I really have to? You do, everyone else has answered. Like I said, I don't have anyone. Oh, don't forget about the tea I made, it's going to get cold. Anyway, I'm more interested in catching up with you, Maria, than talking about boys. What happened after you left?
Alright, sure. We can talk about that. An orphanage. Yep. Neither of us had parents or families, so we were raised in an orphanage. Beyond the second door, Pauline had a family and seemed to be quite well off. I guess that's not the case here.
So you grew up together then? Sister Marie's never told me about her childhood before. I don't like to talk about the past.
Not the best of memories, after all. I'd say we were both lucky we made it this far in life. You still keep in touch with that shit heap of a director?
Now don't talk about him like that. He's not a bad person.
Yeah, I know. In your mind, everyone's not a bad person.
He isn't, really. But yes, he stops by occasionally to check in. He was the one who sent me on the path to becoming a nun.
He always was fond of you. Perfect little angel you were.
I doubt he likes me any more than anyone else.
Compared to you, I was a damned gremlin.
You were a naughty girl, weren't you, Maria?
The naughtiest girl around. I'd throw rocks at the walls, making all these little holes. And one time I even filled the director's shoes with dog shit.
Ugh.
That would make anyone angry. I wasn't always a little twat, mind you. The director either loved you or hated you. There was no middle ground. And if he didn't like you, life was hell. He'd make you go without supper or force you to sleep outside, shit like that.
That's awful. I had no idea he was doing that to you. You could have said something.
Like that would have made a difference. You adored the damn director. You never would have believed me over him. Once you put your trust in someone, you refuse to believe they could be anything less than perfect. Completely blinded by faith.
I don't...
I feel like that's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
You do. The only reason you're willing to believe me now is because it's been so long, and because there are other people here.
This would probably be a good time to step in, Michelle. Change the subject or something. I feel kind of bad for her.
How long were you two together?
Until we were around 10, I think. Does that sound about right?
Sounds about right, yeah. I got fed up with everything and ran off, ended up at a brothel. Been a whore ever since. It's been what, 10 years now? I'm practically a veteran.
Did you like life at the brothel better than the orphanage, Maria?
Between the two, I'd take the brothel any day. There I've got friends and colleagues. Although, I did lose a whole bunch of them 4 years ago.
Yep.
That's how she's connected to Morgana.
Mm-hmm. I remember hearing word of a brothel raided by bandits around that time. Was that where you worked, Maria?
Yep, and what a nightmare that was. I mean, why the hell would you raid a whorehouse? Why not go after some noble's estate, or the damn lord for that matter? A brothel, raided by bandits, 4 years ago. What's the matter? Trying to make those forehead wrinkles permanent? I know I shouldn't be surprised, but I'm beginning to think Maria might have had some contact with Morgana in life as well.
Oh?
4 years ago would make Morgana 12, and where was she then?
Ah!
I have a question for you, Maria. Was there a girl by the name of Morgana at that brothel? You know Morgana? So my suspicion was right. Yeah, Morgana was there. Me and the other girls looked after her together. But after the bandits razed the place, I never saw her again. What a travesty that was. It was chaos, only a handful of us even survived. I figured she'd either been killed or sold off somewhere. But if you know her, that means she's alive, right? That's great to hear! I've been worried about her ever since.
Michelle, Morgana's the saintess name, isn't it? That's what you told me.
Huh? Saintess? That's right, Nellie. That is indeed the name of the person who performed your miracle.
And she's locked up in the tower now.
Nellie! Hold on! Locked up?
You told Nellie all that nonsense too, Michelle. It's not nonsense. Mel told me everything. It's all true. He feels terrible about what he's done, but he can't set her free by himself. Now you too. We need the other 2 keys. The Lord has one and his bodyguard has another. After learning the truth, I knew I had to tell you. But I was too afraid you wouldn't believe me. And if you didn't believe me, something bad might happen to Mel. It's not good to tell lies, Nellie. And the same goes for your brother as well. What? The Lord stores his valuables in that tower. That's why it's locked up and you can't get in. We're all 3 of you after his wealth. Of course not. And you, Michelle, you need to stop planting these strange suspicions and...
See, this is exactly what I was talking about. You haven't changed one bit. You won't even give someone the time of day if they're saying anything that contradicts someone you've decided you trust. Can the, watchtower, was it? Can you not bust the door down? I'm still lost as hell here. But the long and short of it is Morgana might be in that tower. She is, yes. It might be possible to break down the door with a dozen or so people to help, but that's infeasible. Besides, opening the door isn't our only objective. So, we need the other keys. Correct.
It's not true. He would never do that to someone. People think he's scary and mean, but they're wrong. He's a sweet, respectable man. He would never lock up an innocent girl.
Even though everyone else is saying he would?
If I don't believe in him, then who will?
So you are more than acquaintances. If you really have that much faith in his goodness, then tell us that after you've seen what he's done. Pauline.
assuming, hypothetically, there really is someone in the tower. There's nothing I could do about it. I'm a nun. I have no real authority here. I'm just a pretty face.
Nevertheless, he started this to help you. So if you tell him to stop, he might actually listen.
Please, Sister Marie, help us set the saints free.
Your ability to trust someone so completely is actually pretty amazing. But if you let it turn into blind faith, it'll come back and bite you in the ass.
Could I please ask the two of you to leave?
An old friend of mine might be being held prisoner right now. And you expect me to just scamper on home?
Go.
She's a little too innocent, perhaps. But I don't think her faith is entirely blind. You are a woman who is capable of making decisions for herself. I know you are. Yes, you've placed your complete faith in one man. But that hasn't stopped you from considering what you should do with your own life. You were never short-sighted.
We only met yesterday. What could you possibly know about me?
Let's have some tea and talk, Pauline.
Give me some time. Until tomorrow. Time to think about what to do.
As you wish.
Do you guys really have that time?
Yeah, we really don't. She dies in 2 days.
Oof.
So, is all that really true? It is. How do you know any of that, though? Because... what story should I go with this time? Should I use the letter again? Forget it. That's not important. The Pipsqueak ain't one to go throwing around accusations like that for shits. Point is, I'll take your word for it. And if we get the door open and it turns out there's no one there, no harm done. So you believe me? You're not lying, are you? No, I'm not. Then that's that. Frustrating part is winning over a whore isn't going to get you very far toward fixing anything. That's not true. Just knowing you believe me is reassuring. If you say so. Can I ask you something? You did come here in search of the Lord, didn't you? He has the third key, without which we cannot get into the tower. And my gut tells me you're the one who's going to make that possible. Why would you think that? Because you have a very strong connection to him. You may think I sound crazy, but your souls are inextricably bound together. Ah, souls! Don't even joke. I know how it sounds, but that's the only way. Okay, you got me. I'm done lying. You're right, I came here looking for the Lord. There are rumors going around saying he's been seen coming in and out of the church here. So I figured I'd take the opportunity to cave his fucking skull in. You what?
I love her.
I love this, Maria. What you gonna do about it? Call the guards on me? No, I won't. But tell me, why do you want to kill him? Why? What, are you not from around here? Well, you should know he's one hell of an aggressive ruler. I won't deny he's done wonders for the economy. The city's a great place to be if you're a merchant. Taxes are lower than anywhere else, and all you need is enough money and you can buy citizenship. But for the people who've lived here our whole lives, the poor, the peasants, those who need the most help, it's only getting harder to stay afloat. The gap's getting bigger by the day. While the main street's looking lavish and lively, people are literally starving to death on the back streets. He tore down his vineyard. Yeah, his vineyard that's been around for generations to make room for more shops. And sure, you can import some damn fine wine from the other city, but where does that leave everyone who can't afford it? That reminds me, in the third door, he ran some other company's factory out of business for his own profit. Different business, same practices. Giselle? The merchants, especially those who came in from other cities, get treated like kings, but the Lord still has plenty of enemies. I see. So you're someone who doesn't think highly of him, then? Pretty much. What would killing one man accomplish, though? Not much, probably. It'd make me feel a hell of a lot better, though. Do you not actually know the Lord in person, then? I've met him before, so I know who to look for. But that's about it. There's none of this, what'd you call it? Inextricably linked souls crap. No fucking thank you. Maria says she's met him. And Morgana mentioned seeing prostitutes at the Lord's Manor when she was first taken there. Could she have been one of them, then? Changing the subject a bit, there's something I wanted to ask you about Pauline. Frankly, her being a nun, it doesn't make a damn lick of sense to me. What do you mean? I mean, this isn't what she wanted with her life. When we were kids at the orphanage, she wasn't exactly this pillar of faith. We said grace before meals, but only because those were the rules. All ceremony, nothing more to it. She appears to be quite devout to me. I'm thinking something had to have made her that way, force her into this role. The girl I knew was pretty unexceptional. Had her head in the clouds, though, so we never really got along. But she was always talking about how, when she left the orphanage, she'd find the perfect man, fall in love, get married. You could practically see the hearts in her eyes. They'd buy a comfortable house, have a few kids, maybe get a dog. It'd be a happy family, warm, peaceful. And every time she told me this, I'd snort and tell her she needed to get herself a more original dream, at which point she'd start crying and calling me mean. Wow, Maria was an impressively jaded 10-year-old girl. She was a girl in love with love, and now she's a bloody nun. I guess it kinda makes sense as an extension of her unwavering trust shtick. But I mean, come on, surely she should have chosen someone better to put that trust in. Anyway, I guess what I'm trying to get at is, as unreceptive as she was back there, she wasn't doing it maliciously. Not that I have any right to defend her after all the shit I gave her about it. You know, you're making it very hard to tell whether you like her or not. Don't think too hard about it. Just sticking up for an old acquaintance. Anyway, I think I'll head back. As concerned as I am about Morgana, there ain't much I can do. Guards aren't gonna believe the ramblings of some whore, especially now when she's making accusations about the damn Lord. That part's gonna be the real bitch, I figure. If there's anything I can do, let me know. You can find me at the brothel in town. Well, I'm off. It's late. I'm not sure how safe it is for you to be wandering around in the dark alone. Maybe I should accompany you.
Aww.
Don't. Yeah, he's so cute. This is my home turf. And besides, if someone did attack, I'm pretty sure I could outrun you. And overpower you at that. The worst part is she's probably right. But... Oh!
I'll take her at her word.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, she did say...
So
it's better to be safe?
No, if you're certain very well.
Oh, okay, yeah. I appreciate the thought. See ya! Hold on a second. Something else you needed? I would like, if you could, for you to tell me about the time you spent with Morgana. Anything you can, no matter how insignificant it may seem. I want to know what kind of life she had there. How's tomorrow sound? Tomorrow? I'll sneak into the courtyard tomorrow night. Meet me there and I'll tell you what you want to know. Why not now, though? No real reason. Just need a little time to sort things through. Huh? See you tomorrow night. Stay warm. Not even a chance to get another word in. Also, I feel like I'm dressed much warmer than her. Tomorrow night. That doesn't leave us with much time. Giselle. Giselle.
Uh-oh. Oh, okay.
Or are you sleeping?
Oh, hello. What is it?
You've been so quiet, I was getting concerned. It's good to know you're still there.
I guess I sort of dozed off for a bit. Even though you say you can't sleep. I'm fine, though. No need to worry.
Are you sure?
I think we should head back, too. We've done about everything we can today. Giselle, where are you hiding?
Yeah, she's being weird. You're right. Running into Maria was a great stroke of luck. Thanks to her, we now have confirmation that the nun is indeed Pauline.
Are you okay? Was that a sneeze?
Yeah,
Or...
I just had a thought. I'll tell you in a second. And we've potentially convinced Pauline to try and talk to the swordsman.
Oh.
I was just thinking that. So Maria was the one at the window, right?
Yeah.
And I gave her like this really, oh, what the hell voice. So I was just thinking about that and I started laughing.
Depending on how things pan out tomorrow, we could be getting very close to accomplishing our goal. I'm sure it'll be smooth sailing, just like with Mel.
I certainly hope so.
So before you go to sleep, do you want to talk for a bit?
Of course. In fact, I was about to ask you the same thing.
That's what you say, but on the inside, you actually enjoy being surrounded by girls more than talking to me, don't you?
And you seem to enjoy teasing me.
You righto. I'm just kidding.
Truthfully, I don't think I've ever wished you were there to save me more than that. Never been comfortable in such spirited environment.
Put 3 women in a room and it'll get like that. Yeah, it can be overstimulating.
Pixels meet. I could not have been more out of my element.
I don't know. You seem to fit in pretty well to me.
You really think so?
You made for a great plaything.
Oh yes, I'm quite good at that, aren't I? I will say, there was one thing about the whole affair that surprised me.
Oh? What would that be?
I did not expect I would be able to have such a normal social interaction. And not because I'm awkward or a poor conversationalist. For most of my life I was cursed, irregular. And you were the only one who didn't treat me like... That came to be what I saw as normal. And as such, being able to participate in a social gathering like that is a very exotic sensation. It feels almost like it shouldn't be possible.
I do kind of wonder if there's some significance to that, because they did mention that there are a lot more mixed races in this area, but
Yeah.
I would imagine that an albino person would still stick out a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they can't be that common.
So,
But I guess they're just so used to seeing different looking people that it doesn't bother them.
yeah, maybe. You are normal, Michelle. An ordinary man.
This right here. This is what I wish I always had in life. And for me to finally attain it in death. Though I suppose lamenting the details would make me ungrateful. I am glad to have had the experience, though.
I'm glad to hear it. So, I know I've been talking about how much I want to save Morgana, and that hasn't changed. Neither has my desire to change everyone's future. But if you want to leave this place, to go somewhere far away and have a life of your own, you have my full support.
Where is this coming from?
Maybe, I mean, we still don't know what exactly is going on in this situation. So maybe she's thinking that Michelle could just forget about this whole thing and live a life in this reality that they're in.
Oh, just like completely abandon, or I guess after they save Morgana, just leave. Or even before then.
Like, even before then, since if they fail, they could end up killed. He could end up killed in, like, the riots that happen.
Yeah.
You've got everything you ever wanted. You have the right to choose to stay here, live in this time.
I wouldn't dream of it. I am not going to leave you trapped in that darkness. I will not make the same mistake twice. Regardless, there's no point in me choosing a life without you there as well in the flesh.
Okay, then. Well, I'll be in here, waiting.
Hopefully not for long. I really think Morgana and I have a great deal in common.
What?
One the daughter of God, one a demon child. We are both forced into inhuman roles, living lives of solitude, constantly having things we cared about taken away from us, including, ultimately, our lives. The big difference between me and her is that I had a dog. Is that I had you. If you hadn't been there at the end of my mortal life, perhaps I too would have grown to despise those who had put me through such misery, cursed their very souls. She had no one, though. Not a single person to be there for her final days.
That's also, I'm remembering that whole exchange between Morgana and Michelle in the last stream. That killed me.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with Moon's voice acting.
So good.
From what she told us, though, her life wasn't all sorrow and misery. She did eventually come to find happiness in her time at the brothel.
In fact, she's even said that was where she learned to experience joy. Well, I know that...
Thinking about it now, yeah, I can totally see Morgana and Maria just hitting it off so well.
Yeah. Well, I know there were a number of girls there. If Maria was one of them she was particularly close with, perhaps her being there could have had a positive effect on Morgana.
We'll have to see what she says tomorrow night. Though, if Maria was part of the brothel where she found happiness, then why did she get dragged into?
Yeah. Well, maybe she'll explain it.
We're missing something vital here, and I can't figure out what it is. We'll have to see what she says tomorrow night.
That we will. And then our time limit is noon the next day. So we'll need to have everything necessary figured out by then. Everything it will take for her to have a change of heart.
I'm not worried one bit. I have complete confidence in you, Michelle.
I am somewhat worried.
What's there to worry about? Shout, you can do it 100 times!
So you're planning to cheer me to death?
I just want every last bit of you to know I'm rooting for you.
I assure you, you've made that abundantly clear.
Hey, there was something I wanted to tell you, if that's alright.
Yes?
When I learned about your past and about your body, it came as a big shock to me. That said, I'm confident you know that my feelings for you haven't changed one bit.
I do.
But what I want you to know is that even if I had found out back then, instead of having instead of after after having waited hundreds of years for you to return, my feelings still would not have changed. Oh, his face. If you had told me while we were alive, I would still have accepted you. Now, of course, I know it's not something you could have come out with so easily, especially considering everything you went through because of it. I know. They have become one of my favorite ships. Like, usually when it comes to that, I tend to fall more to the, like, obscure ones, but they have just been written so beautifully. We only lived together for a little over a year, and we were only partners for a month. So I understand how difficult it would have been to think I wouldn't push you away. But I'm not sure you grasped just how much I loved you even then. My wounds ran deeper than even I knew, and them fully healing was simply not possible. Anyone else's touch, anyone else's warmth, my heart and body would have rejected. I sincerely wish I had expressed that to you more clearly. That it had to be you. That I needed you.
I did believe at the time that I could start over with you. That we could have a normal life together. Or, well, I fooled myself into believing it. But I could never rid myself of the guilt and shame, and how it was impossible for me to give that to you. I would imagine our future together. You, smiling with our children in your arms, playing with them, scolding them, teaching them. And then I would remember I am incapable of giving you those children, of even engaging in the prerequisite acts. And the more I wished for your happiness, the tighter that guilt constricted me. I do apologize for not saying anything.
You carried far more weight than any one person should ever have to carry alone. But you don't need to do that anymore. For one, I'll support you no matter what. And in this time, you're normal to everyone, not only me. You have allies. You don't have to take everything on yourself anymore. I love you, Michelle. I absolutely adore you. In middle school, we see each other again. Vincent looks more frail than I remember him being. Maybe it's just that I've gotten taller. When he sees me, he smiles. In fact, he smiles to everyone. The usual unchanging blank expression that he had in kindergarten is gone from his place, replaced with a mask. It's unsettling. I don't smile back. Somehow, we end up doing a class project together. By the time I gathered the courage to ask someone to invite me, everyone else had already found a partner. But there wasn't an open spot in his group. But there was an open spot in his group. The other two kids just want easy marks, so only the two of us actually end up working. Ugh, I always hated group projects because of that.
Yeah.